He just admitted to be capping the whole time. Why the hell would we believe him now? Ayo gang, so we back with another reaction video, and you know I put my drawings over to the side. If you like these drawings, go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, all of that, show some support. Once I get monetized, I'm gonna do some more original content, and let's get right into today's video. I'm doing a reaction to The Liver King Came Back and It's Bad. It's by my man Jamari. You know what I mean? You could hit subscribe, hit like, just like that. It's that easy, son. And then bam.
Who can forget the hours and hours of footage of him eating bull testes and various liver from countless
Yeah, bro, that was crazy, bro. I used to watch that and just be like, what is this guy doing?
To come along with it, the Liver King claimed that he was all natural several times when questioned about it, declaring that no steroids were flowing through that butt.
Cap.
Do you think if I was on steroids, I would have these appendages down here, these legs? Do you see how little my legs are?
At the end of the day,
What?
cheating doesn't scale. It's not sustainable, and it doesn't scale. I don't touch this stuff. I've never done this stuff. I'm not going to do this stuff. Which stuff? The ass full of steroids that he talks about.
You've never taken steroids.
Never taken steroids. I've never done PEDs.
That's cap.
Prioritize, execute, and dominate.
That's cap.
And really selling the idea that he achieved this look through his insane diet and, his words, an ancestral lifestyle. Basically, anyone with half a brain knew this was a gimmick right off the bat, but still, he was selling all these different supplements to go along with that sort of diet, and this made him filthy rich. Now, eventually, Liver King got exposed by a man named Derek after he accidentally asked him for advice in email about his steroid cycle long before he ever became famous online. Liver King did this unknowingly laying in his own grave because he was not privy to the fact that Derek was a very popular YouTuber. So he got exposed. At first he denied it, but he would later admit it after all the evidence was laid out there. In turn, he would eventually get sued in a $100 million lawsuit against his numerous companies by a guy who claimed he was so bought into this ancestral lifestyle.
That's crazy.
The idea that he could one day also reign king, and basically saying that this Liver King lie ruins his life. Obviously, the dude behind the lawsuit was looking for a
Of course it would.
and it's still in limbo whether or not he will receive it. And today I do have a Liver King update for you guys, as Brian Johnson has now announced that he's once again back on the gear, as if he ever
Wait,
stopped.
that's his real name?
Here's what I'll say. I didn't lie to anybody when I went on the podcast and I started talking about my earnest commitment to go natural. So this year, starting on January 2nd, I went 220 days without any steroid, without any growth hormone, without any peptide, without anything synthetic. If you call eating a pound of fresh, raw bull testicles every single day natural, then I've been nattiest for 220 days.
So he's trying to say that for the last 9 months, he's taken absolutely no steroids. I'm pretty sure
But I mean,
and is like in his late...
Hold on, gang. He just admitted to be capping the whole time. Why the hell would we believe him now? Like, it's obviously another stunt, right?
40s. And based on some of the videos he was posting over these last 9 months, it's hard to believe that he wasn't still on some sort of gear, as he was still looking absolutely yoked out of his mind. So a lot of people speculated that he just kind of toned down the amount that he was taking.
You don't just get more shredded and more vascular and more yada, yada, yada when you come off steroids. So I've lost over 20 pounds. You know, and anybody who interacts with me in real life will tell you I look leaner. For anybody who doesn't believe me, all you have to do is look at my social media photos.
What?
December.
Look at it. Look at it. What? That doesn't make me not believe you, bro. That doesn't make me like not believe you. Looking at your social media, you could edit those pictures, gang.
To now, and tell me that you can't tell the difference.
That could be
I would
Photoshop.
find before and after photos to be very interesting. I feel like it's mainly women who like to post these things,
True.
and maybe men who lost quite a bit of weight. And are you ever looking at someone's so-called transformation and you're like, I think you kind of just put on a different pair of pants. In all seriousness, though, he does look pretty different just based off these two photos. His stomach was extremely bloated right here. In the second photo, he does look a lot leaner. But I just don't know if I'm buying that he completely jumped off the juice.
I'll tell you what I don't like. I don't like the idea of losing over 20 pounds of muscle. I don't like the idea that became the reality of losing a lot of strength. My 1 rep max strict press was like 255. and I couldn't even hit 205 in July. So I've decided to go back on it.
Well, at least
What?
he's honest about the fact that he's jumping back on the roids. I mean, I won't lie to you guys, it does suck for anyone who's worked out for like an extensive amount of time. There's obviously going to be times where you're bulking, then there's going to be times where you're cutting. And if you have gone through those various cycles, you know how much it sucks when you go from bulking to cutting when it comes to your strength. Because when you're bulking, it's like you're just making all these strength gains in the gym constantly. It's like every single week you're adding an extra 5-pound plate. Maybe you're adding that 2.5. And then when you're trying to cut back down and lose some weight, your strength is gone. You feel like you have no energy. You come home and your food is bland. You're eating chicken and broccoli. And in his case,
It be like
you
that.
actually believe in this alleged change that he went through. I can't even imagine how much weaker he would feel after he was pumping his body with so many roids.
I'm taking testosterone. It's a cream. I do 3 clicks of it a day. I'm also doing a growth hormone. It's 2 clicks a day. Really what's considered HRT or TRT. It's hormone replacement therapy, managed in the normal range. Not a
So now he gonna be honest about it?
Man is on that Joe Rogan. Like, I'm pretty sure it's well documented at this point that the most famous podcaster on earth is on that hormone replacement therapy. I believe this is something they actually recommend to a lot of men over the age of like 50 years old. And just looking at this picture of Joe Rogan compared to the Liver King currently, it's very hard for me to believe that they're on the same shit.
I've proven what I needed to prove to me. The commitment that I made to my boys, to my family, to all the primals out there, is I would never lie again. I've done what I need to do. I'm living my life by my terms, not somebody else's terms.
I mean, it sounds to me like he's still actually trying to convince himself that this is all fine. I
Right.
really don't think the everyday average person could give a shit whether he's on steroids or not. Yes, is some of the magic behind his videos now gone? Absolutely. It's almost like in The Wizard of Oz when everyone took a peek behind the curtain and saw what was really going on. Only in this case, it was obvious the entire time to...
Yo, that one scene was actually very deep, son. I feel like that one scene was about like life and society and what's going on behind the scenes, but that's a whole nother topic. And I'm gonna just get back to this real quick.
Anyone over the age
'Cause that's
of
a whole nother topic,
I
gang.
would show up one day and say, me live Caveman, me go back in time, live like ancestor brother, make fire, technology bad. And I didn't say any of those things, you know. What I believe
What?
is that ancestral living is the path. It's these things that have nourished us for millions of years, that enabled us to evolve to become the baddest mammalian predators that ever lived. Happy, healthy, robust, fulfilled. What's ancestral is technology. Right?
What?
We left the comfort of the cave, and we figured percussion technology to sculpt a rock into a bifacial blade, to learn how to throw a spear, a projectile, to be able to kill at a distance. Technology, by definition, is a utility to advance the interests of the person and or the tribe.
What is this motherfucker even waffling on?
Right.
Dude, no one gives a shit that
Right.
you hop on your MacBook every day. No one gives a shit that you're taking flights.
He's just
There's not
rambling
one
right
who
now.
actually believes you live like a caveman.
Here's the thing. I never wanted to do the Liver King.
He says
Cap.
there he never wanted to do the Liver
Cap.
but it's well documented in those emails that he sent
Cap.
to Derek long before he ever got famous, long before he ever came out with his persona, because there is footage of him beforehand, and he looked nothing like this. He wasn't acting this way. He talked in a normal voice. And it's actually well documented in those emails that this was all a very contrived thing. But go on.
It was just crippling thinking about it, much less doing it. You know, when I was younger, I hated my life. I hated who I was.
Oh, jeez. No, he's going for like the pity.
I mean, I would honestly argue that anyone who feels the need to pump their body with all these steroids
Oh.
and to do all of these insane things just to achieve that sort of physique is still a very insecure person.
Facts.
And he could say, oh, I want to jump in
That's
front of
facts.
here because I miss my strength, which is probably true. But at the same time, I believe it's like 90% about the way he looks.
It was the ancestral lifestyle that got my kids healthy, and the light bulbs came on. What kind of piece of shit would I be if I didn't share this with the world? 4,000 people a day. And
Oh my
80,000
God,
people
not
a
this
day.
again.
They see no light at the end
Not
of the tunnel.
going on about
Critical
this
talked
again,
about how
buddy.
he hated his own life. Critical was ashamed of even showing his own face, you know, until I think when he got to 1 million followers or something like that, he did a reveal. Here's who I am. I know how that feels, you know,
Cool.
to have no self-worth.
I mean, just because Charlie chose not to show his face until he got to 1 million subscribers doesn't mean that he was insecure. There's a lot of people out there that would likely just want to remain private for various
Yo.
reasons. Maybe he hadn't decided whether he wanted YouTube to be like his official career at that point. Even me, myself, I was faceless for a little bit of time here on YouTube until I got to like 300,000 subscribers, I believe. And it really didn't have to do with insecurity. It just had to do with like, do I really want to keep doing this type of thing?
Right.
Then once I knew I was like a little bit more straight with the money, I knew I could quit my other job. I was like ready to jump out and say like, hey, it's me. Because after all those years of trying and failing on other YouTube channels where I would show my face, I wanted like the credit for doing this, even if I never would have blown up to be any bigger than 300,000.
Right,
also,
right.
Just acknowledge that this boy is looking very primal in this screenshot.
My opportunity to make my mark, so that other young men like me don't have to hate their lives and suffer and struggle, so that other
Bro,
like my own
He is
boys
twisting
have a
this.
decent
right,
life. You want to bring the criticism,
right.
make the videos, this is fine. Because I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to get this message out. Because if we don't get eyeballs...
What message, bro?
Then what does it matter?
You got caught.
Honest about it, my guy. You wanted to get eyeballs on the message so you can sell your product.
Right.
Like I would say that's about 80% of his battle, and the other 20% is like feeding his insecurities. Like he's always going on these rants about the people that want to self-delete and how he's here to help them, but I guess I'm just not really seeing that.
No, I don't see that either, son.
Eating bull testicles is gonna make someone say, "Oh, you know what? I do want to live today."
Right.
And casting it so fucking big that...
Bro, he don't make no
in our
sense.
lifetime to change the trajectory of human health.
I mean, I do agree with the idea that something seriously needs to change about the way that most people live their lifestyle and eat. But sadly, we've reached a point in our society, in our economy, and with all the stuff going on with social media and the way people are so sucked into devices, that a lot of people are out here living very unhealthy lifestyles. And I honestly blame a lot of it on the chemicals in the foods that we eat. Like, even if
Yo, son, don't even get me started, son. Something about the food in America, bro, I'm telling you, bro, like, it's just bad, bro. Like, America allows certain chemicals in foods that other countries do not allow, bro. I'm living in Europe, and I'm going to the grocery. Every day that I'm getting milk, it's expired in like 6 to 7 days. Every morning, if you go there around 6:30 at the local grocery store, the fresh milk, fresh vegetables were coming, and they had no preservatives in them. That's why they expired so fast. So you had to use them quickly. So don't buy a lot of milk if you're not going to drink a lot of milk if you're living in Europe. You feel me? But here in America, your milk could last like what, 2-3 weeks up to a month? Like what, bro? Like that's not natural, bro. There's something in it. You feel me? Like, bro, that's a whole nother topic too, gang. Like we could go real deep with that, and I have personal experience that makes me say this. Like I know for sure, gang, something is wrong with the food here. They're trying to kill us, but hey.
You're out here trying to eat healthy, you're trying to eat fruits, vegetables.
Even exactly, bro. And force right.
The nutrition that
you ever eat the bananas from 7-Eleven?
Been diminished. And so it is really hard to live a healthy lifestyle. I will agree with that.
If you look at the way that Clinical suffered, when
bro, stop talking about another man like that, bro. What?
The bond.
What is he doing? Bro, who does this?
Creating to let's make shit to getting out of the hellhole and living a better life.
This guy seems to know an awful lot about moisture.
Penguin was the original.
I'm surprised if he has a picture of him somewhere up in his house. Like, you know how the Mexican grandma always has a picture of Jesus hanging up somewhere? Just replace the face.
There's this accusation that I look like Arnold Schwarzenegger from Total Recall.
No, bro.
I'm all red and I'm about to explode. To me, this is a great compliment because I want to be exploding, growing, expanding, sharing the philosophy of abundance. So why is Liver King so red? Part of it might be because I like to bathe in blood.
What?
Another part of it because if I'm on the camera and Coach Greg, your tan's looking pretty on point. Ancestral 10 and 7.
The 7th ancestral.
I've always thought that this type of thing was just a little bit crazy. I mean, I've been pretty into lifting weights and, you know, the whole physique thing in different parts of my life, but I've never felt inspired by the likes of it. You know, I just kind of wanted to get some abs. I remember I had this friend back in college who was really into lifting weights. He was really into bodybuilding. And one day he goes to show me something on his phone, and he's going through his camera roll, and there's just a bunch of pictures of these different bodybuilders. And I'm like, dude, it's okay if you got a little secret.
Okay, I know that you were late to the party, but the party's
Yo, nah, I feel you.
and offering a formal invitation for you to come to Liver King Ranch. I'll give $100,000 donation to a charity of your choosing when you come out here and see that none of this is an act, that this is actually how I live.
I mean, I would honestly love to see some Liver King times Charlie content hit the timeline. Come on, man. Give us the Short King crossover that we deserve.
Bro.
There's actually one more piece of Liver King content that I want.
All right, gang. So hear me out. First of all, I did not know this was a reaction video to Penguin Zero. I thought this was like, you know, like an actual documentary on Liver King. Because I actually watched Penguin Zero's reaction, well, his video to Liver King. So I was like, oh, another video? Huh. Let me see what this person made. You know what I mean? But it's a reaction to Penguin. Didn't know that. Secondly, this Liver King guy, bro. This dude lame as hell, bro. I don't even want to watch too much more of this. It's about to be done. I'm gonna keep this subscribed. This dude is cool. You know what I mean? He seemed pretty honest. He seemed pretty legit. You know? But this guy was clearly on the roids. And then the fact that he keep bringing up this one guy who obviously confessed that they tried or wanted to self-delete. And then you're gonna invite him to come see how you really live. Like, how narcissistic and arrogant is this guy, bro? Like, someone needs to slap this guy with a cylinder brick to the face, bro. Like, just pow. But anyways, gang, I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. And remember, if you like my videos, if you like my drawing, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Have a good day.